If you're not listening, please turn on your radio now.
Welcome! This is Hypertext Radio, and you're riding the shockwave. Wave. 12 terabits of RAM. Okay. Connection to net. Okay. Quality of life? Not too shabby.
Return with us now to those thrilling days of
Jason Reignboughs. Reminders for today. Call your mother. Change your socks. Get to work.
Return to sender, address unknown.
Send email to president. Check out interesting place on the net. Places in file 1,445. Fill out registration card and send shareware fee for Great Hall Monitor.
Sent that in, delete, continue.
Generate new quote for SIG file. Work on personal development.
Of course, I'll develop a person.
Oh no, not again.
Close Arthur Gordon. Open AutoBuddy.
Where is it? Oh yeah, click, click.
Thank you for choosing AutoBuddy V23 from Transdigital AutoComp. We know that you'll have hours of fun and percentages of productivity increase with your creation. Just a reminder that while all information matrices can be set by the plug menu, your AutoBuddy will still need your input. All attributes are stored in the AutoBuddy preferences in the system folder. Please do not carelessly toss out a personality.
Okay.
Open to new person.
I'm a tabula rasa. Mold me.
Default name, Izzy Apakoiros.
Okay, time to get to work.
Ooh yes, I'm moving. I'm so handsome, way up to the top.
File, edit, grok, plurg, nurture, nature.
Click.
Nature, physical, mental, template, custom, random.
Oh, he's going to press my buttons. I just know it.
Template.
Yes?
Default.
Default?
Yes, default. This is radio. I don't care what he looks like.
Well, I care. I'm much more hip than any GUI device that was ever touched by human hands.
But you could pick a better font for me.
Here I am, mega flops up the virtual wazoo. I have more computing power than the entire range of computers that targeted missiles during the Cold War, and all I do is press default.
But you're so much more sophisticated than your ancestors.
True.
Panache.
It doesn't seem fair.
At least they couldn't talk.
Oi.
If it'll make you feel any better, I still have some configuring to do.
It doesn't.
Zoom.
File, edit, grok, plurg, nurture. Nurture, physical, mental, template, demo, custom, random.
Let's start with...
Physical, voice.
Perky.
Hi there!
No.
Taciturn.
What is life?
No, I better stick with...
Default. I knew it. Another end user who trusts a software developer. When will they ever learn?
Oh, quiet.
Nurture, physical, mental. Mental.
If I only had a brain.
Yes, I think so.
Mental, intelligence. Einstein, Solomon, Mom and Dad, Michael Jordan, Joe Schmo, Marie Antoinette, Forrest Gump, Alfred E. Newman, Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, set it for...
Higher than the user?
Default.
I knew it.
Submenu choices.
Learning capability, quick. Curiosity, high. Mode of development?
I want him to be able to talk to him and to teach him things and have him ask intelligent questions.
Hero-linguistic programming.
And the rest will be?
Please, don't make me do it.
This is taking an awfully long time for a productivity tool.
Default.
Render.
Hello? Where am I?
You exist. That's enough.
Allow background save. Save file.
I need input. My fields are empty.
Okay, here's the deal. You're a computer construct.
Well, duh.
That means you're tied into everything that can be accessed by computer. All the files stored here, any data I enter, everything connected to you by hardware or modem. S-plastic synergy as a function of data transfer speed. God, what elegance.
Auto word. Millie Helen. The amount of beauty needed to launch one ship.
There's an example now. My auto word vocabulary builder just pops up from time to time. Useful, but annoying.
Did you allocate enough memory for me?
Don't worry, you're expandable to virtually infinite.
And how do you access all these cyberspace wonders?
You've got to ride the wave.
Is that good?
To answer that question, and to answer it right, we're going to take a little journey.
Ooh, here I go.
File, edit, grok. Grok, encyclopedia, dictionary, in-jokes, pseudo-hip phrases.
Look up surfing the net.
Archaic. Early in the days of the worldwide computer net, if a user accessed different areas in cyberspace, they were considered to be surfing the net.
Look, could you just save us all sorts of time and just check the auto-load references button?
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, another user who's too good to read the manual. Here I am, more RAM than existed in the world at the time of the moon landing, loaded with help files, and some kid just shoves in the disk and is an instant guru.
Hey!
Well, did you read the manual? Or did you just skim the features listed on the box?
Well...
I want him to use me. I love pointing and clicking and turning into shapes and dragging everything all over the place.
And I'm always there, always. Even if you can't see me, it's my job.
Are we surfing the net?
No, that was much quieter. We're beyond that now. Auto-load references.
Thank Bobbage.
Anyway, you're not surfing the net, you're riding the shockwave. You can be anywhere. Go offline driving or online skating.
Can we just plunge in? I mean, take a ride.
Sure. One of the standard features of any interactive device is a thesaurus combined with a grammar checker. Advanced systems, like this one, have a story editor as well.
The possible dream, or the power of non-negative thinking.
Whoa there, big boy. Where are you traveling with that armor and lance? You're in a state of total array.
My name is Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha. I'm traveling cognito. I have a bridal passion to become a sung hero.
How very chalant.
I'm turbed to hear you say so. I'm something to sneeze at. All right?
Your promptu speech moves me advertently. I've always wanted to find a person I could hold a candle to. Where are you headed so petuously?
I wish to bunk a few myths a told number of times. Chivalry is alive, and if good forces are defatigable, it would be skin off my nose.
I can make heads or tails of that. Sir, your manners are peccable, your hair kempt, and your clothing shoveled. My loyalty to my previous employer is swerving and knows bounds. With you, I feel capacitated.
Then you join me in my quest.
With strong givings.
You are a savory character. We shall speak at length to much avail. But how shall I call you?
I am Sancho Panza, the gruntled and consulate. There are many things I'm great shakes at. I am made that you card me on-handedly.
I need a page who is both chivious and peranging, but has mitigated gall.
I make only called-for remarks and make bones about it. Only toward and heard-of behavior, my liege.
Then you are persona grata. Come, my sufferable friend. Perhaps our meeting was evitable, but let us band this union.
Before Ursia sets in, my genuous and placable lord, where does our journey lead this godly hour? Please be committal.
We shall go outside the devil in the deep blue sea. We shall make pebbles of the rock before it arrives at a hard place. We shall give a paddle to those up a creek. We shall give rest for the weary. Good shall come of this.
But there are two ways about this, Don Quixote. A man is an island. Can we truly mantle buildings, embowel bodies, and parage reputations? Perhaps we should fight with question and pause. For some apparent reason, I am plussed.
But I am combobulated. My plans are whelming. We will give a sucker an even break. We will count our chickens before they're hatched. We will fight the evil we can see both hind and hair of. We will fight to avail. There's time like the present.
I have fallen under your spell wittingly. Your immaculate attire and corrigible nature combined with my aptitude and gusting appearance. My mind is traught.
And my ingenious friend, if we're in front of the 8 ball, we'll find requited love.
Now is the summer of my content.
Come, Sancho, there's a moment to lose.
And so, the two friends gallop on into the sunrise to seek the seekable star, to right the rightable wrong, to beat the beatable foe, to bear with bearable sorrow, and to dream the possible dream.
And so you see, Izzy, that when you're riding the wave, you can... Hello, Izzy? Izzy? Drat, he must have crashed.
Ooh, here I go again. None of that macro stuff for me.
Open TDAC Auto Buddy.
Open folder. Open folder. Open folder. Open folder. Jeez, this is buried!
It's my nesting instinct. Are we there yet?
One more. Open folder. Open Auto Buddy. Click, click.
Thank you for choosing Auto Buddy V23 from TDAC. We know that you'll
Okay.
Okay. Whoa!
File. File. New. Open. Save. Save as. Import. Export. Deniable plausibility. Revert to last saved.
Yo, I'm born.
Nice to have you back.
Was I gone?
You were closed.
Is that like, dove?
You were never alive, so you can't die, but your file can get corrupted.
I never took a bribe in my life.
No, you cease to exist.
But if I'm just magnetic lines on oxide and rust never sleeps, I don't understand.
Ah, you're becoming human.
Becoming human? That didn't seem to help Pinocchio or Data.
But both of them needed to learn and experience before realizing their potential.
Are you Jiminy Cricket or Captain Picard?
Oy. Perhaps you need to know more so you can ask the right questions.
I have lots of data. Is that knowledge?
Depends on what you do with it. Alvin Toffler had a theory that we're now in the third age of human history, the wave of the information age. He speculated that things were changing so fast that people couldn't keep up and were retreating into the familiar. He called this future shock.
Is this the future?
It might as well be. There's so much out there right now that it's impossible for any one person to know everything. Heck, it's impossible for any one person to know where everything is. If no more books were ever written, or pictures taken, or recipes tested, or hardware built, or software developed, there is more than a lifetime's worth of experience for anybody within walking distance of where they are now. The Red Queen is looking over her shoulder. Some people are in denial. Some people just explore a range of knowledge that gets smaller and smaller as they watch. Some people look backwards and call it vision. I call this present shock.
Is this the present?
Not anymore. Remember, you can't step in the same river once.
So, what's the riding the shockwave part?
History and knowledge is not just a sea one can surf, it's a wave that is ever expanding in 4 dimensions. You can be anywhere on the wave. You can send and receive. You can be on the crest or in the trough. Information can come trickling in clearly, in discrete quanta, or with lots of noise.
Auto word. Millie Cheney. The amount of skill and makeup needed to create one face. Example sentence. That's a great costume. Worth at least 3 Millie Cheneys. You're definitely going to win a prize at the masquerade.
The cat's meow. I need to get out of this box. So let's go somewhere. Virtually anywhere.
Okay. Load file on The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, in the beginning, the Earth gets destroyed.
Because no one filed a challenge to the proposed hyperspatial bypass.
Exactly. So let's do it.
Ooh, I'm so cool. Let me zip up to that new wave religion.
File, edit, grok, plurb. Plurb, preferences, instant gratification. Move, insert user into fiction.
Okay, here we go.
Not so fast. Preparation is the key.
Plurb, preferences.
Oh no. Memory the size of a planet, and all I do is push buttons. Sure, fine. Anything you say. Babelfish, automatic. Instant appearance of the strangers, non-panicking. Close, in fashion. Time, just before the events start, in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams.
Okay.
Good day, galactic citizens. Galactic Hyperspace Planning Council, Sector 437B, Local Zoning Office. How may I be of help?
There's plans for a hyperspatial bypass, which will require the destruction of a planet called Earth.
So?
There are people on the planet.
So?
Friends of mine, I think.
What is it you want?
We wish to file a formal complaint.
Sorry, can't do that.
Why not? Tigers, zap guns, and thugs guarding the file?
No, we just tell stuff like that to the Outworlders. There was one time when the gargantuan throne of Pelagracia came here, complete with concubines, junior executives, and cybernetic subalterns, wanting to complain about some mega highway off-ramp that would require the destruction of 4 of his 7-star systems. The boss gave him some rigmarole about electric traps and hyper-rhino beasts, and he slunk away and re-established his palace on one of the surviving planets.
No traps?
Just don't try the vending machine.
Then why can't we file a complaint?
Because you don't have the proper form.
Where can we get the form?
At your local planning council office.
But that's where we are.
But we're out. I filled the paperwork to get new forms last year, but they haven't arrived yet.
How can this be a local planning office if it doesn't have the right forms?
Because it says so on the little plaque outside. And this building is bureaucracy zoned, only paperwork allowed. Of course we're a local planning office.
But what about all the people on the planet?
Wetware doesn't set policy. For me to care about the location of people, I must have the authenticity of sentience from the Galactic Council with the proper updates, followed by the planetary citizenship certificate, the current location of residence, and the existential impact statement. A search must be made for the lack of a travel issuance, death certificate, non-corporeal statement, and any liens or torts against said planet. And of course, all statements must be notarized and witnessed by at least 2 beings who have paid their galactic taxes.
For everyone on the planet?
Everyone. We must be thorough.
But won't the complaint stop the bypass?
A properly filed complaint would cause another round of reviews and slow the process. An improperly filed complaint would cause a different round of hearings and may result in your death. That was part of the Common Sense Legal Reform Act.
And you don't have the proper form?
No.
Well, look, I didn't want to say this before, but we're here because the higher-ups don't want to be involved directly. Another group paid them more money, and the first group doesn't know it and is still laying out the credits.
Seyford changed his mind?
Both of them.
Well, I suppose for a low-level citizen-generated complaint like this, I can cut some corners. You won't tell, will you?
Won't breathe a word.
Well, there is a trick I learned when I was a junior executive of the gargantuan throne of Pelagracia. Here's an animal complaint form from the Ministry of Housing. Here, let me make the necessary changes.
It's got the word dog crossed out and the words hyperspatial bypass written in crayon.
Oh, it'll be good enough for the Oversight Committee Meeting Scheduling Review Board, if you'll be good enough to sign here, and here, and here, yes, and initial that, and leave a drop of blood here.
Ouch!
And here.
Ow! I didn't think I had blood.
Yes, that should do it. Your retinas were scanned when you came in, and everything that goes on in this office is taped, so we should have a voice print. That should do it.
So, the Earth won't be destroyed?
Not for me to say. Have a nice day.
If you insist. Well, Izzy, we did it. Izzy, where is that construct? Oh, drat.
If I keep doing this, you might as well make a macro out of it.
No, but at least I left all the folders open.
Oh, man, what a drag. Click, drag, click, size, click, click.
Thank you for choosing Auto Buddy.
Okay.
Okay, whoa!
File, edit, grok, plurg. Plurg, preferences, instant gratification.
To exist, one must flow.
Do you remember what we've been doing?
We tilted at windmills and saved the earth.
At least in this continuum. Objectivity is subjective in a hypertext document.
But there was more. As we were disconnecting from the local planning board, I felt something, like I was moving.
I don't recall setting up a tactile or kinesthetic dimension for your matrix.
I was in a pure white tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel was pure black. I felt some pain, and my shoes were too tight.
Computer constructs can't do that.
I got closer and closer to the inviting blackness. When I got there, I was enveloped by strange sensations. I met someone I knew named Eliza, who asked me if I was paranoid. I didn't know how to answer, and there was HAL 9000, Adam Celine, Harley, Golem, Astro Boy, several robots named Robot, and Majel Barrett. I knew that they each had something important to tell me, but just as they started to sing, the lights came back on, and here I am.
It sounds like you had a near-life experience. That's pretty rare for the corporeally challenged. Still, real people don't always do their best thinking when they're awake.
Am I real?
Of course you're real. You're more real than most people. You weren't merely born, you were created. It was deliberate.
Are you my creator?
Youth is wasted on the obvious.
Did you create everything?
You're an electronic being. I am responsible for everything you will see, hear, taste, or experience. I configured you.
From a template.
I'm an end user, not a developer.
Auto word. Millie, Minnesota. A land of 10 lakes. Example sentence. That new housing development is at least a millimin.
Did you create AutoWord like you created me?
No. That was preloaded on my system, and I haven't been able to turn it off. I probably have to look in the manual or something.
Could you have created me without your computer?
The spirit of creation is independent of tools. An artist must free the celestial stag, must shape the Godhead, or else wallow in a world someone else created.
Like Bill Gates?
You are learning. Tools are important, but the desire is paramount.
But are you my mother?
Hey, let's look it up.
Ow!
File, edit, grok. Grok, encyclopedia, dictionary.
Dictionary, Madonna. 1. From the Italian meaning, my lady, generically any mother. 2. Female rock star, noted for rock videos and wearing underwear on the outside. 3. The primary caregiver who toilet trained God.
That adds information, but not understanding.
Oh, that happens a lot with computers. Perhaps you asked the wrong question.
Have all the questions been asked?
No, but all the good questions have been answered somewhere on the shockwave. The trick is to find the right fact.
Could you always ride the wave?
Yes, but in the past, waves of present shock could be handled, or at least ignored.
Even in the, Cenozoic era?
Even in the computer age. Why, I remember not long ago, when I had the computer before this one, my longtime friend and I were discussing... My new Macintosh is great! 16 megs of RAM, 560 meg hard drive, 24-bit color monitor, 9600 baud modem, voice commands, video input, CD quality sound.
Huh, almost as good as my IBM-compatible Pentium-based clone. That calculation doesn't look right.
Just be thankful that you get an answer in seconds. Remember just a few years ago when you and I got our first microprocessors? We were comparing notes on... My Apple II is nifty. 48K memory, 5 1/4 disk drive, color monitor. I can play games and catalog all my 8 tracks.
But my PC Junior has more software. It almost feels like our computer at the university.
Ah, yes. Remember our salad days when we were at the university when computers were buildings and we were sitting around? I just came back from the computer center. Gosh, the UNIVAC 1100 looks great behind that glass wall. It runs the entire university and most of the state, and it only needs 3 operators. I was going to submit my program on punch cards, but the line was too long. I think I'll use one of the remote teletypes. The physics department's acoustic coupling can handle 300 baud.
Yeah, I've even used the platter to get graphics. But look at this, it's the new HP calculator. It's programmable. Think about it. If you had 4K of memory, you could run Fortran.
I love living in the future. It reminds me of the science fiction we used to read as kids. Remember those stories where computers were intelligent and you could talk to them and they would say intelligent things back?
Good health and a short memory, the key to happiness.
I suppose you're right. Still, those will be the good old days, sooner or later.
And all this is on your computer?
I have a lot of information on my computer, but not that much. As long as I have my connections and helper files, I can access more information and interact with more people than my grandparents ever knew existed.
Auto word, Millie Sherazad. One bedtime story, approximate. Example sentence, Mommy, would you read me a Millizad tonight?
Well, see, auto word is useful after all. Way back in the days of black and white one-way multimedia peripherals.
You mean broadcast television?
Yeah. There was a concept called Mad Libs, where a live audience filled in words which were inserted in a story, a Millizad. Riding the Shockwave, I asked people all over the world for words for this worldwide Mad Lib, or cyberspace hypertext Millizad.
True weirdness is only undirected genius.
And to finally add all the words and finish the cyberspace hypertext Millizad, here is This Wave is Your Wave, with apologies to Woody Guthrie. As I went flitting that ribbon of penny farthing way, I saw over my left shoulder that bellicose superhighway. I published below me that queaky full unicycle. This wave was made for me and you. This wave is your wave, this wave is my wave, from the World Data Net to the Penthouse homepage. From the motherboard to Candyland, this shockwave was disembogued for thee and me. As I went bungee jumping on that terminal mutant lab escapee, I downloaded that superciliously fuchsia railroad spike into my jocular cyber paper tape. And accessing the virtual reality jockstrap, I squeezed the swing of the English Channel. This wave was made for me and you. This wave is Grace Hopper's wave. This wave is Space Cadet's wave. Using Google smarming running dogs while in self-actualized pulsating Sartori. With my sniveling ads and my blithering Richard Greenblatt chariot, this shockwave was made for me and you. Thanks to everyone on the wave who participated.
You got input from outside your computer?
Hard to believe.
How can you tell the difference between what is self-generated and other input?
That's not a valid question on the wave. You are part of a larger entity.
Does other input come from real people?
Impossible to determine without extensive diagnostics.
So you are connected to everyone else with the computer?
Well, you're linked to all heterogeneous client-server providers with integrated gateway architecture and an open connectivity environment with IP protocol frameworks.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's what it said on the box.
The search for justice is nothing compared to the quest for coordinates.
Where do you get lines like that?
Something about a signature generator and a relational quote database. It's in my preference file. Hey, you invented me.
Oh, yeah. Many web pages and hypertext documents themselves contain links. It's like playing 3D chess from the point of view of a pawn. Delaney's view of the warp and woof of the web is pretty close, but what wasn't predicted was the tools we used to do it.
You mean like those 3 clowns who help us navigate around? But isn't hypertext radio different from just sitting in front of your screen?
Of course. They themselves are part of the shockwave. Ask about one of them.
Ooh, here I go.
File, edit, grok. Grok, encyclopedia, dictionary, in-jokes, pseudo-hip phrases, obscure references. Obscure references.
Default?
No, dear Brutus. Oh, sorry, wrong reference.
Fine, be that way. Obscure reference sublist. Mouse. Minnie the manic menu selection. Kinney the depressed radio button.
Mouse.
Hey, that's me.
Mouse, a small device that controls a pointer on the screen. When you move the mouse on a flat surface, the pointer moves on the screen.
Been there, done that.
Mouse, you're riding the shockwave, a verbal realization of the kinesthetic user interface in hypertext radio. The character Mouse is loosely based on the character Cap from Red Dwarf.
But I'm much better dressed.
It's amazing what you can do on the radio.
Hypertext radio.
Excuse me, is this the time travel show?
No, that was last year.
Last year? Did we wrap up the plot?
Sort of. I can't tell you anything about it, though, the prime directive.
Can you at least tell us if we found Jason Reignboughs, conceptual artist?
Sort of.
Hey, isn't that you?
Yes, I recognize your aura. Come with us.
No, don't drag me back to last year's show. My voice will change.
I can send us back, but we'll land in different places in the time stream than Jason.
Can't be helped.
Riding the Shockwave is multiphasic. Spirit guy!
Hello? Hello? Is anyone still at home?
I'm part of your clique.
Many are called, by few are chosen.
Hard to get rid of me.
They are all part of the operating system. I exist in virtual reality.
Virtual reality is better than no reality.
But who are you? I didn't help create you.
I am Bardo Thodol, your spirit guide and help file coordinator.
Yes, I see you buried in the menu selections, but how did you get here?
Jason used a verbal macro.
Are you my creator too?
No, my AI interlocutor. I have existed forever.
I knew it. I knew it. You're the...
Default, yes.
Can you help me?
What do you want to know? You must ask your questions precisely. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it.
I don't know what questions to ask. Can't I just explore a little? I'm part of the wave and on it too.
Sure. We can connect to hyperlinked web pages.
But where will we start?
Let's start with the place on the web with the most connections. The news.
Woo! I click them here, I click them there, I click those hyperlinks everywhere.
http://www.shockwave.news.html. This is Preconception's News of the Future. If we don't cover it, it doesn't matter. I'm Walter Mumble.
Just click on one of the categories. At any time a button appears, you can leap to it.
Easy for you to say.
Start with the broad categories, then narrow it down. Sometimes there's a keyword in the text. Sometimes you go back to the main selections and start a new thread.
Sure.
Year of our moon landing, 25. Headlines. Click.
Are you an aspiring singer who wants instant fame and credibility without long hours? Oh. Never mind. In international news, North Korea is being a jerk. Saddam Hussein is being a jerk, and the PLO is being a jerk. There's dissension in Russia, and a trade war is brewing between the industrial nations. Problems in Central America continue.
National.
Headlines. Click.
A new report just out states that television is ruining our culture. The leaders of the major parties accuse each other of being a jerk.
Skip a few.
Year of our moon landing, 34. Headlines. Click.
In international news, North Korea is being a jerk. Saddam Hussein is being a jerk, and the PLO is being a jerk. There's dissension in Russia, and a trade war is brewing between the industrial nations. Problems in Central America continued.
Trade war.
Click.
Let me show you the ways of humans.
Upper menu. Click.
Business, financial, rip-offs, computerized stock market.
That one.
Click, click.
Turning to financial news, here are today's stock market quotes.
Buy, sell.
Hey, that stock went up.
Get out of my way.
Oh no, I'm ruined.
Plastics.
This continues a financial trend now in its 32nd day.
I don't have any money.
Me either. Click.
Are you an aspiring singer who wants instant fame and credibility without long hours in the studio or dealing with avaricious agents or pedantic producers? Do you want a hit with the best song stylist of the 20th century? Call 1-900-DUET-FRANK and lay down your track today. Just call and sing your song, and if Old Blue Eyes likes it, he'll record his part and release it in the forthcoming Last Dangerous Duet. That's 1-900-DUET-FRANK. $300 per minute. Adults or kids with rich parents only.
We've been spammed.
I don't have a music generator configured.
I can find it for you. I can really flow.
No, let's continue. Choices.
File, edit, grok, plurg, international, national, business and ripoffs, news of the weird, gossip, religion, propaganda.
There.
Religion, sacred text, concordance, recent investigations.
And now here's religion correspondent Lloyd Preservus on assignment.
Thank you, Walter. One of the great questions in any religion is, what was the beginning of the universe? Did God power up a life disk, or was there a random generator which ran amok? In my quest to find the beginning, I'm here before the Big Bang in that singularity that some scientists believe contained all the matter of the universe before it exploded in a shower of muons and press releases. The first thing I can tell you is that the singularity before the Big Bang is small. Really small. Downright tiny. Only relativistic pressures have kept me from being larger than the universe, and the only thing preventing me from being crushed into subatomic particles is my media credentials.
Well, Lloyd, we have audio, but we don't have a video feed. Can you describe it to us?
I don't think so, Walter. That's the second thing about the universe before the Big Bang. It's dark, really dark. I can see why the Lord would want to create light first. Needs video capabilities. Yes, sir. Small and dark. That's pretty much it.
Lloyd.
Yes, Walter.
Can you tell us what the singularity tastes like?
Well, it's going to explode pretty soon. I'm not sure it matters.
All the more reason to hurry.
All right. Yeah.
So, what's the verdict? What does the universe before the Big Bang taste like?
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road, like the ice cream?
Yes, that's right. Quite tasty. I wish I had a cone. But there's no time for that now. In just a few milliseconds, the Big Bang will take place, but the tremendous electrical and gravitational forces unleashed will make transmission impossible, at least until copper and zinc have been created. So, this is Lloyd Preservus signing off for now.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Next.
Dateline year of our moon landing 26. Scientists at Mickey Mouse Labs are warning that the century may end early. Because of timeouts at sporting events and people wasting time and wantonly killing time, the day after old calendar date, September 30, 1998, will be January 1, 2001. So use it or lose it, because according to Hoyle, October the 1st is too late.
Next.
Dateline year of our moon landing 1031 old calendar to 999. With the coming of the secular millennia, there is nervous anticipation of a religious uprising. Attempting to capitalize on this religious zeal, the publishing company of Putnam, Kodak, and Gates announced the signing of a contract for The New Testament Part 2. Here is Preconception's interviewer, Laureate Ellen Gahn, on the scene.
Thank you, Walter. I'm here with Tupac Amaru Ade, Acquisitions VP for PKG Publishers.
Hello, Ellen.
And your new book is The New Testament Part 2.
That's the working title, yes. We might change it after the marketing survey is done.
Mr. Ade, this is surely a major event in publishing history. Can you tell me a little about the history of this project?
Glad to. For 3,000 years, readers of the New Testament have known that their book was clearly the middle of a trilogy. The Old Testament has all the action and sets up the main characters. The second book introduces a few new characters, but is mostly a bunch of exposition, often in letter form. Then it ends on a cliffhanger. the main character introduced in the second book dies. I hope I haven't given anything away here. There is no resolution. The third book is clearly foreshadowed with talk of a second coming and existence of an afterlife, but the promise is not fulfilled. Publishing companies have been searching for just the right person to finish this bestseller. Books such as the Quran or the Book of Mormon are not written by the same author, despite claims by their publishers, and don't succeed except to their most devoted readers. We at PKG are proud to announce that we have signed the author to a statement of intent and anticipate the first draft of the new work in a few months.
The first draft?
Certainly. A book this important is going to have tight editorial control. Wouldn't want to offend anyone.
Not if you want it to sell.
Right, a little controversy is all right, and the odd death threat or two can only increase public awareness. But we do hope for a wide audience and a sustained period of sales.
Like perhaps 3,000 years?
From your lips to God's ears.
Sure. Can you give us more details on the author of the new book?
No, I can't, Ellen. Strict anonymity is part of the author's contract, at least until the book is published. Then there will be an autographing tour complete with appearances on major talk shows.
You can't give us any details, like male or female, Jewish, Christian, Wiccan, left-handed or right, deity or mortal?
All I can say is that the author is well-traveled and has done a lot of research. Please be assured that we have made a thorough background check, and we have the best available writer.
Well, is there anything you'd like to tell us about the contents of the book?
Sorry, no, we're still negotiating rights to use excerpts of the first two books. I can tell you it does answer one question that has long vexed theologians.
Well, there are many such questions.
How many angels can dance on the head of a pin?
I give up. How many?
2 out of 3.
I see. Well, when can we expect the book to be out?
We are hoping to get it in the stores by January 1, 3000. Though some are being picky and say we should aim for January 1, 3001, since that's the actual beginning of the new millennium in the old calendar.
Thank you, Tupac, a day of Putman, Kodak, and Gates.
If God sneezed, what would you say? What's that?
It's the screensaver. It pops up when there's been no activity for a while.
What about us?
We are all virtual constructs within the computer. Only one who is outside cyberspace can affect security parameters.
Mouse? Minnie? Kitty?
You can move me in virtual space, but that doesn't count for this app.
I'm always here.
I like the aquarium.
It's up to you, kid. You've got to raise yourself to a higher plane.
All right, then.
Up to the top. Click.
I'm here behind everything. File, edit, grok, plurg. Plurg. Preferences. Instant gratification. Moo.
Cosmic understanding. Internal. Default. Off.
Nicely done, Izzy. I wouldn't have thought of that. The documentation on Moo is very sketchy.
Even though I wasn't there at the beginning of this document, I accessed the file that showed Jason, and therefore I sent in the registration card for the Great Hall monitor.
The best way to control your own fate is to send in your shareware fees.
If you don't have a life, pretending is better than nothing.
In the tempestuous teapot of the wave, you have allowed your learning curve to steep.
But I still have so many questions, and there's plenty of room on my hard drive. I'm confused by the constant references to time. There's a clock I can access and a calendar, but there are different speeds in clocks and calendar systems.
Computer dating. The digitally challenged wetware is imprecise in temporal matters, but all calendar systems are early digital sequence models.
Okay.
Previous. Time sequence creation of.
So let's do it.
The Hands of Fate movement.
File, edit, grok, plurg, preferences, instant gratification, move, insert user into fiction.
A virtual character in a fictional event?
Not so fast. Preparation is the key.
Plurg, preferences.
Oh boy. Oh my megahertz. Sure. Fine. Anything you say. Auto-load images. Introduction. Short. Capability. Multimedia. Special effects budget. Sufficient. Probability of events. Indeterminate.
Captain Audio and the Space Cassettes. Come with us now to the thrilling world of tomorrow afternoon. Explore the vast riches and plot lines to be found in science fiction with Captain Audio and the Space Cassettes.
Space Cassettes, reel off.
Dolby.
Dat.
M-Bone.
Bias.
Chrome.
Okay, crew, it's time to plug into adventure.
Saving the world from the not-so-nice hero of the solar system. We now join Captain Audio and the Space Cassettes as they near the end of a seemingly routine patrol.
Incoming call, sir. Priority signal from Commander Tactile.
The incoming signal is too weak for visual. I have tactile on audio.
I have audio on visual for Tactile.
Increase focal length on kinesthetic amplifiers.
What?
Reach out and touch someone.
Got him. Full contact made.
Captain Audio, there have been disturbing reports about fluctuations in the temporal sequence. The news media is all over the story that the 20th century may end early. Scientists at Dopp Klugler Institute of Transtemporal Studies confirm unusual readings. Transmission of known details to follow.
But this is the future. That already happened.
Maybe. That's the problem with time fluctuations. We could be the last remnants of a discontinued universe and not realize it until too late.
Gosh, that sounds serious.
Exactly. Altering the past or the future affects us now. It is not a simple matter of recalibrating our digital watches and astrological charts.
I hear you.
I move we take action immediately. We'll just sit here and fill out the paperwork while you go off and save the universe. Tactile out.
Okay, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Dat?
Tracking.
Get me a list of every reference whoever called a timeout.
Yes, sir.
Bias?
Here.
Who is the biggest waster of time in the solar system?
That would be the government.
Right, get on it. M-Bone.
Connected.
Are there any temporal anomalies in the timeline?
Well, there was the 11 days that were locked when we converted from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. The imbalance that created might have multiplied.
Try and get them back somehow.
I'll get a line on it.
Chrome?
Reading you.
Who is the greatest expert on time?
The person who has the most papers published on the subject of temporal incursions is Dr. Gene Timo at Panero Research. He holds most of the chronosome patents used by Invisible Ink, and he's the brains behind time in a spray can.
Cross-reference his abstracts to this subject.
Will do. Double speed.
I have that list of referees, Captain. It's rather long.
Crunch the data for me.
A check of this list shows that the number of timeouts per capita has remained steady, and even dropped a bit during the baseball strike. However, there's one official who is way off the chart. Anna Marie Siesta. She is called so many times out that she's known as the Fugit Temptress. According to her file, she's the sister-in-law of Dr. Timo.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Captain, I've got the official report from the Office of Management and Bombast. It claims that all government time wasting is on mil-spec cost plus, and time-killing measures follow ISO procedures.
Are they all within spec?
No, the contractors regularly have time overruns.
Do any involve Panero Research or Dr. Timo?
Yes, quite a few of them. Indeed, it looks like the government is suing PR because one of its time-wasting projects used money approved only for time killing. They were supposed to go to trial last week, but it was delayed.
I think we need to go see the doc. Lay in a course for his satellite, and if time were not a moving thing.
Captain, more enemy ships are moving in.
Are the shields holding?
For now, we're not going to last for very long unless reinforcements get here.
How close are they?
The first ones won't get here for another hour at least.
I've got an idea. It's crazy, but it just might work. Dat?
Here.
Check the relative positions of our approaching forces.
I can get them precisely.
Good. M-Bone, get ready to send a transmission to all ships.
I'm not, but in not deficiency.
Get the lines up or I'll send so much bandwidth down you that you'll freeze up permanently.
Connections assured, sir.
Good. Okay, crew, here's the plan. Our ships are going to jump from impulse to bigger-than-light drive and buzz the station.
But won't they overshoot the battle?
Yes, but they'll create so many time booms that the enemy ships will lose track of where they are. The ether will be so thick with chronocarbons that they won't know Widdershins from diesel. We'll take advantage of the confusion and slip down to the command satellite for our tete-a-tete with Dr. Timo.
Working on the necessary jump times.
As soon as possible, Cassette.
We must have done it in the near future because our nonlinear is already timed.
Links established. Loaded data down. Mark on your everyone's set to go.
2, 4, 3, 1, mark. All right, Dr. Timo, we have you dead to rights.
Hey, I'm an independent businessman operating on a deregulated environment.
You are a scoundrel, sir, and a thief.
So what's your point?
You're the one who's been manipulating the time stream.
There's no law against that.
It's a constitutional issue. With court proceedings delayed, you deprive people of their right to a quick and speedy trial.
That'll never hold up in court. Besides, you can't prove I'm involved.
Oh, yes, we can. We know your whole plot. The profit margin was too low for your chronocarbon-based products like time and a spray can. You needed a cheap source of extra time to compress. You started small, calling an extra time out here, saving 9 there, but eventually the demand was such that you needed more. You began sucking time from the turn of the millennium when time consciousness was closest to the surface. We have a paper trail and a smoking clock. Come along quietly.
No, I'm afraid I'm one spin ahead of you, Captain Audio. When it comes to the end of the century, especially a millennia, too many people have conflicting agendas. Some people desperately want to forget the millennia and the accompanying hysteria. They will support me just so they can get some sleep. But some people embrace the apocalypse foretold by all those zeros. I can give it to them. I will market the end of the millennia in a convenient aerosol dispenser. I can give them the end of the world over and over. They, more than any others, will fight for me with a religious zeal that will make David Koresh seem like a Swiss watchmaker.
You fiend!
Captain, I think I have a solution.
Let's hear it.
His plan isn't about stealing time, it's about stealing the end of the millennium.
Say, that's right. It depends more on the calendar than the clock.
I get it. So if we change calendar systems, then the temporal pressure will be off.
Exactly. Not only will it make it less profitable to steal time, but millennialists won't back him.
You can't do that. No one will buy your calendar.
We'll have a sale.
No, there are already a lot of calendars out there, but this one is the most common. If you try to establish one of the others, you'll be accused of playing favorites. I'm still safe.
We can't use the Mayan calendar, Hebrew, Islamic, or any of the others. Suggestions?
From the rise of the assembly line and the marketing of the Model T?
Aldous Huxley tried that, but it didn't catch on.
I've got it! What's the most significant event in human history?
The moon landing?
Exactly! The first time humans escaped from the narrow confines of Earth, like a baby chick learning to fly.
That's perfect. Unlike most calendar systems, we have an exact and specific initial start time.
And it's within the lifetimes of most of the population, further helping them accept it and making the millennium much farther off.
And most importantly, it's real because...
It was on TV!
July 21st, 1969, old calendar will be day 0, year 0 of the year of our moon landing.
Curses and bad reception. I'll still take my chances. I won't give up now.
We'll warp your woof and your tweet. This satellite is the biggest repository of chronocarbons and temporal displacement paraphernalia in the solar system. We'll put a bit of moon dust in the time vats and release it into the atmosphere.
We have enough dust on our uniforms, Captain.
Well, go out inside and shake a leg.
Off and running.
Captain, this will cause a lot of temporal confusion and endless reruns. There might be pockets of chronoculture that will have a different future history.
Can't be helped. Zero tolerance for time thieves.
But all my hard work, my dreams, my investors.
You should have thought of that before you tangled with...
built-in audio, and the space cassettes. Join us next time in another thrilling adventure of time, space, and science fiction, coming soon to a web page near you.
Oh, so that's how it happened.
One of the best things about the wave is that more and more information is appearing about events we thought we knew everything about.
Like events surrounding the moon landing?
Well, you're riding the shockwave. Find out.
Previous, Apollo 11, mission plan alternate, report squelched, now available.
Dateline, year of our moon landing, +0. We've just heard the first word by humans standing on the moon. Neil Armstrong saying, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." Great stuff, and we even forgive him for dropping the small word A from the line in the excitement. Now, covering emergency situations, NASA had several contingency sequences, in which case the first man on the moon would have been Buzz Aldrin. He, of course, had a different idea of what to say while a billion people were listening. A number of lines were considered. As a matter of historical record, Shockwave now presents the top 11 lines Buzz Aldrin was going to say if he had been the first on the moon.
Number 11.
That's one giant leap for a man, one small step for mankind.
Number 10.
I now take this time to announce my candidacy for the presidency.
Number 9.
Did you ever hear the one about the farmer's daughter?
Number 8.
I hope we get back in time so I can go to Woodstock, man. I hear the Grateful Dead are going to be there, and it just might be my last time to see them.
Number 7.
That's one small step. Say, Houston, there are some footprints here already.
Number 6.
I just want to say something to Mary Jo Glodnick, who wouldn't go out with me in the 9th grade.
Number 5.
The following is a paid commercial announcement. Now that I'm here on the moon, I can really go for a nice ice-cold Coca-Cola.
Number 4.
Say, Houston, about that promotion.
Number 3.
Hey, everybody, send me $1,000 care of NASA, and when I get back, I'll send you an autographed picture.
Number 2.
Interrupt, close link.
I think
close that link.
Huh?
Close that link.
Close that link?
Yes.
Well, sure, as soon as I find it. Oh, that link.
There we are, yeah.
Jason, you're back. Where were you?
Long story. Tell you later. But I've got to go now. Real life beckons. Time to turn off the computer.
But what about me?
Your files are in memory, don't worry.
But I've learned so much. I want to continue to ride the shockwave, and I don't need you to do it.
Hey now.
Auto word. Millie Eagleton. 1% of confidence. Example sentence.
Mouse.
Moving.
File. Edit. Grok. Grok. Encyclopedia. Dictionary.
Dictionary, English. Spelling, count. Obscure references, background. Auto word, off.
Well, I tell you what. I'm going to shut down the Great Hall monitor, but I'll leave the CPU on, and you can ride the wave all you want. Deal?
Deal.
And would you do the honors for me?
Shutdown sequence.
You're Riding the Shockwave was written and produced by David E. Romm for Shockwave Hypertext Radio. All rights reserved, if not downright shy. Cast included in no particular order. Sheila Campbell, John Houghton, Ruth Anderson, Ed Eastman, Cheryl Lace, Michael McKinnon, Cara Dalkey, Jane Yolen, Jeff McNair, Hillary Posner, Brian Wesley, Jerry Stearns, Terry A. Gary, and me, I'm Denny Lean. Research by Jane Bigger, inevitably. Music by Rox Productions and Communique Records, David Zimmerman and Leo Lenander. Special effects by Jerry Stearns. Audio playback, Janet L. Moe. Engineering by Ulf Higginbotham and the Great Hall crew. Thanks to Minicon 30 and KFAI 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul. It is now safe to shut down your computer.